Come and play with me. Run away with me. Just you and me.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to our itinerary video. This is new scenery. This is James's bedroom.
Yep.
This is a different job, two different videos. This is our itinerary upside down. Okay, so we're going to start getting through it. We don't want this video to be too long. So to start off, we've got 4 nights in London. Then we start our top deck tour on the 5th of July. And our top deck tours of Britain and Ireland. So we go from London to York, and the next day York to Edinburgh. Then Edinburgh. Then we stay 2 nights in Edinburgh. And on the 5th day we go from Edinburgh to Glasgow, then Glasgow to Belfast, Belfast to Galway, then we stay in Galway. The 9th day we go from Galway to Killarney,
yeah.
Then
Yes, sir.
Killarney to Dublin the next day, then we stay in Dublin on the 11th day, and the 12th we go from Dublin to North Wales. The day 13 we go from North Wales to Cardiff, and the next day Cardiff. Is it Cardiff?
I think so.
Cardiff, whatever, sorry, if you're from there. To London. Okay, and we stay in London one night, and the next day we
Start the Kentucky tour.
fly from London to Berlin to start the Kentucky tour, and that's the Eastern Road. So you can
Eastern Europe.
Eastern,
Yeah, it's called Eastern Road,
Eastern Road
but
Kentucky
we're
tour.
doing Eastern Europe.
We're doing Eastern Europe.
So the first day we're in Berlin. The second day we are in Berlin again, so looking through the city. The third day we go from Berlin to Prague. Then we spend a day in Prague. We arrive in Prague and then we spend a day in Prague. Following day, and then the next day after that we go to Vienna. Then a day after that we look around Vienna.
Yep.
Then the next day we go from Vienna to Budapest, have another day in Budapest, then go from Budapest to Krakow, then another day in Krakow, then Krakow to Warsaw, another day in Warsaw, then Warsaw to Berlin, and we finish up. That's where we finish up.
In Berlin.
So then we go from Berlin to Amsterdam.
Oh, and before we keep going, I'm going to be doing a video on the individual tours and going into more detail about them and what we're going to be doing on them. So to continue, now we're up to the 1st of August.
Which is Amsterdam.
And we go to Berlin to Amsterdam.
And we have a day in Amsterdam. Then the next morning we leave Amsterdam and go to...
We don't leave, we just have a day trip to Belgium. And we stay another night in Amsterdam, so we've got 2 nights in Amsterdam. And then after that we leave we have a flight from Amsterdam to Milan, and we have a look at Milan on that day, and the day after that we are going to go to Lake Como, and then I have family in Milan, so we'll probably go see them in the evening.
Yeah.
They don't know about that yet, so we'll see how we go. The next day we're still in Milan, so we've got
a day trip to Verona.
3 days in Milan, and we're going to on the last day we're going to have a day trip to Verona to check out
Romeo and
Juliet's, the balcony. You're excited about that, aren't you?
I am.
You are, come on.
Very good.
And then we go from Milan to Venice, and we're in Venice for 3 days, so we're going to be doing the gondola and a tour of the Venice Islands. Then we go from Venice to Portofino. We're only in Portofino for 1 night, and the next day we go to Florence from Portofino, and we're going to do a tour of Tuscany, and it includes Pisa and Siena. So yeah, so we're in Florence for 3 nights. It's a really good tour because it includes everything, so you don't need to waste time doing other things. So there you can start talking about yours. So we go from Florence to Ancona.
Okay.
And what is Ancona?
So Ancona is a city close to where my grandfather was brought up, which was Iesi. That is also a city itself. So we're going to have a look in Ancona, and then we go from Ancona to Rome.
And how many days are we in Rome? 1, 2, 3, 4 days in Rome.
Days in Rome. And then from Rome we go to Naples. And then we go and look at Pompeii, Herculaneum.
And that's serious?
Then we hire a car.
So we're in Naples for 2 days, and on the 3rd day that we're in Naples, we hire a car and we're going to drive the Amalfi Coast.
and then end up at Sorrento, spend the night in Sorrento. Then the next day do a tour of Capri. Then stay another night in Sorrento.
So 2 nights in Sorrento.
Yep.
And then on the third day,
Go back to Naples.
we go
drop
back
off
to
the
Naples.
car. Then go to Rome, and then from Rome we catch a plane to Lamezia, which is where your family is from.
Okay, so the flight to Lamezia is in Calabria. I think Lamezia is in Calabria, or it's next to it.
Yeah,
so then we go to Stefanakert. That's where my grandparents are from. So I'm going to go check out that city, town.
It's a town.
It's a town. So we are there for 2 nights. So 1 day, full day, and then we go. After that, we go from Calabria to Taormina.
Yeah.
In Sicily. So we are chilling in Sicily.
Pretty much.
For 1 to 3 days. We're there for 3 nights. So on the 4th day, we fly from Palermo in Sicily to Athens. And on that day, we arrive really early at 9 o'clock in the morning. So on that day, we're going to have a tour of the Meteor. I'm very excited about that.
That is a castle on top of a cliff.
Yes. And James is very into the ancient civilization, but he just told me that this is not an ancient site, and that's the one that I'm most excited about. So maybe I'm just not into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so then after that next day, so after we get to Athens, our Greek island hopper top deck tour starts. So we're in Athens for 2 days, then Athens to Mykonos, next day Mykonos, then the day after that Mykonos to Paros, stay in Paros another day, then Paros to Santorini, stay in Santorini, then Santorini to Athens. Now on that last day, the tour ends after breakfast, but we're going to start a little 3-day tiny tour that includes the ancient civilization sites. So do you want to read them out? So there's like
Epidaurus,
Mycenae,
Naphilion, Olympia,
and Delphi. So we're doing that in 3 days, and then after that, the next day, we catch a flight from Athens to Malta. We get there in the afternoon. So we chill for that day, and we're there for 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So we're going to do a little tour of Gozo as well in there. Then after that, we go catch a flight from Malta to Zurich. So we're in Zurich for kind of like 1 day, because the first day when we get there at like 5 o'clock at night, and we can't do much on that day. So that full day that we're there,
traveling, the whole day pretty much be traveling, going to the Alps, I guess.
Yeah, we're going to check out the Swiss Alps. So we're there, and then the next day we go from Zurich to Nice. We get there late as well, so I guess we have the Swiss Alps like we have the next day, because we don't leave there until 5 o'clock at night. Which is
so a day and a half.
A day and a half, really.
Like I said before.
Yeah. So we've got 3 days in Nice, and one of the days we're going to go to Monaco and Monte Carlo. Then we've got a flight from Nice to Barcelona. We're in Barcelona for 2 days.
Then Madrid.
And then Barcelona to Madrid. Madrid for 2 days. And then Madrid to Paris. Paris for 3 days. And then from Paris we go to Munich, Oktoberfest. And we are doing a top deck tour of Oktoberfest.
Which is camping.
In a tent. In a tent. And James, I think, is going to suffer the most. Because he has 30-minute long showers. Yes. He moisturises his elbows in the shower and out of the shower. I think that's the most time he's going to moisturise his elbows.
Just give me pissed.
And I'm in and out of the shower like that, and his elbows are soft like a baby's ass.
Oh, that's true.
Anyway, then we go, after 4 days there, we go from Munich to Dubai, and we stay in Dubai for 2 nights, and we're in there 1 day, and we're going to do a safari tour of the camels and the desert and the, what's this?
What? Forward driving.
Forward driving and all of that, so excited for that. And then the next day we fly from Dubai to Melbourne.
And then it takes a day to get home.
It takes a day to get home, and we get home at 7 o'clock. So that is our whole tour. Thanks for watching. Please tune in next week for our budget video. Bye.
Good morning. Hello.
Hello, it's actually Evie.
Hello.
We're at James's house, so this is a new scenery.
Are you why did you really start?
New video
Just
scenery.
fucking stop starting. Just start properly. Fuck, man.
Jeez, you keep swinging around like, I'm just trying to keep you upright. Spastic.